Hi everyone, welcome back. So today's topic is Singleton Design Pattern. Before jumping into the definition of this one and the code part of the Singleton Design Pattern, let's understand what exactly the problem it is solving. Okay, so have you ever wondered why big applications don't create object again and again? Imagine your app creates a new database connection every time, right? So what happens, let's see over here with an example. This is my application server. Okay, one user comes, one request get created, second request get created, then multiple user comes, multiple request gets created, right? So very quickly what happens, our servers start slowing down, our CPU increases, memory usage increases, and the performance become terrible, right? So how do the real applications solve this problem? So the solution is here. They create only one shared object, and that is exactly what the singleton design pattern says. Now let's understand in Java what is the problem without singleton design pattern. So normally in Java, every time we use the new keyword, a completely fresh object gets created, right? So for an example, object 1 gets created, object 2 get created, object 3 got created, right? So this may look harmless, but in large application, the unnecessary object waste memory and the resources, right? So sometimes creating multiple object is very expensive as well, and sometimes it can even create the system instability. So without singleton, multiple object gets created, and because of that our memory and resources get wasted, right? So let's understand this with a real world analogy. Okay, so think about a company can have thousands of employees, right? But only one CEO. Imagine if every employee suddenly become a CEO. So what happens? Totally chaos, right? Singleton works in a very similar way. Some object in an application should exist only once. Now let's check the definition of singleton. The singleton design pattern is a creational design pattern that ensures a class has only one instance while providing a global point of access to that instance. What it simply means, only one object should exist in the entire application and everyone should use the same object. Instead of creating new object repeatedly, we use the existing one. Now let's see how singleton is implemented in Java. First, we created a class named as a database manager. Here is I have created an instance named static variable. So here is the important part. If you see over here, I made the constructor as a private. So why private? Because if the constructor is public, anyone can create the objects using the new keyword, right? But singleton wants only one object, so we block external object creation completely. So that is the secret behind the singleton design pattern. Now if you have a look into the getInstance method, this is completely controls the object creation part. So what exactly happens in this method? First it checks if the instance is equal to null. That means if the object doesn't exist, create a new one, then return that one. If the instance is already there, so there is no need of going into the if loop, right? So it will return the existing instance over here. So no matter how many times we call this method, only one object gets created. So the last part is we have to test this particular singleton class, right? So here I am calling 2 times the getInstance method. So let's run this particular one. We have to look very carefully to the output. If you see the output, you could notice that the references have the same memory address. Both the object reference has the same memory address, right? That means the singleton is working because both the variables are pointing to the exact same object. So the first time the object got created and it returned that particular instance. The second time also call this getInstance method, it checked the instance is there. Yes, the instance is there, so it returned that particular instance instead of creating a new one. So which proves the singleton is working. Singleton is used heavily in the real application. For example, logging system, configuration manager, cache system, database pools, and the Spring Beans. So naturally, internally, Spring Beans use Singleton design pattern. But remember, Singleton is powerful, but overusing it can create some problem. It can make the unit testing difficult. It can create tightly coupled code. So we have to use Singleton only when the truly needed one shared object. So let's quickly summarize. Singleton means only one shared object in the application. So it helps in the saving memory, improving resource management, and widely used in the real world systems. Now you know one of the most important Java design pattern used in the production application. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and comments below where have you seen Singleton design pattern used in real project. See you next video.